Hey beautiful souls, it's your brother Zen with another Take 10 with Zen, where we take 10 minutes or less to talk about things of spirit, connecting to that powerful being we really are, and also I answer questions from my subscribers. The last episodes we've been talking about how can we recognize our gifts, how can we raise our vibration to connect to that higher love, which helps us expand our gifts, and a bunch of different tools that we can use to do that. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about singing bowls. I'm going to introduce you to all my children, all my singing bowl children, which here's a picture of them. It's not a professional family photo, but you get the idea, and I'll introduce you to these one at a time. But everything is energy. Everything around us we have mental energy that we put out, we have emotional energy we put out, we have energy of intentions, and we have physical energy, of course, that we put out. And everything is energy. Energy never goes away. It just transforms into something else. So everything in the physical world is basically the same energy. It's just vibrating at a different level. Rock versus liquid versus air versus spirit. All of it is vibrating differently. And it's either of a lower vibrational energy, which is more related to fear and conditions, conditional love, or unconditional love at its higher level. And or something in between, right? Because it's not all or nothing. There's a wide range, like a temperature. You know, it's not freezing or hot and not in anything in between. There's a temperature that goes back and forth that impacts everything a little differently. And if you talk about like the chakra system, and if you're not familiar with chakras, it's the spiritual centers of our body that is communicated and impacts our body in the physical world too. We've got three that are considered the upper, connected to spirit, which are the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, and the throat chakra. Then we have three at the very root, starting at the root chakra, which is like the red, and then the orange, which is the sacral chakra, and then the yellow, which is the solar plexus. So we got three below, three above, and they all meet in the green heart chakra in the middle. So it's really cool how we can balance and we can see where these different energies are impacting us, and singing bowls have a lot to do with that. Like anything in the human world, we have a variety of ways that the human tries to define things. And so when we look at how each of the types of singing bowls impact our beingness, our body, our mind, you know, our heart, all of it, always look at everything with an open mind and an open heart, right? If you use a singing bowl and you're like, wow, this really resonates with my heart, but it doesn't match up to what the supposed to be, is it? Allow it to be what it is, because we are powerful. We're the ones that determine what does affect and does not affect. So this is just more of a awareness type of thing that can help you on your deep dive into finding maybe your own singing bowl for yourself. You look at this little chart here, you know, we've got the note that is determined by the tone that emanates from the singing bowl, can help determine which chakra it could focus on, or the size of the bowl as well. So when you're searching for a singing bowl, one, always look for a trusted source, and if you can, try to be able to hear, like if you buy it offline, try to find one where you actually get to hear the bowl itself. Otherwise, when it comes in, you might be like, oh, I don't like this one, right? Or if you can go in person, even better, because then you can really feel the energy live and in person. So I love those. So just use this information as a starting point. If you're like wanting something for your heart chakra and you see, okay, it's the F note and it's a 9-inch bowl, start there. But let it be a little introduction to the bowl itself and see if it resonates. And if you're like, this really doesn't, then try different types of bowls and see which one matches up for you. And of course, I love all of my children here, which I will show you here in a moment, which I showed you the family portrait. This one is the one that takes me to a whole different place. Each of them impact me differently, but this one is my go-to. Like if I had one that I had to travel with, this would be it. And I'll try not to do this too loud. And that one will go on and on and on. It continues to vibrate. And we'll look at how the different ways that you also can make a singing bowl vibrate. So this was just using a giant bong or tong, or however you say this. There's different ones. That one has a big center here, as you can see, so it doesn't make things really, 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 really loud. If you use a smaller one like this, see how it's higher. And you also have like a suede covered ones here too, which this is the one that you just gently go around this side. This one doesn't work too well with this one. This one's more for a glass bowl, which I'll show you here in a sec. But for this one, it's more of a wooden one, and some of them will have just wood and then a little thinner suede on this one. Now, so you hold it on the bottom where you're not like grabbing it. If you grab it, then you're muting the sound, right? So when you hold this here, if you just start gently around the top, go like that, then you'll start to hear a vibration sound. If that doesn't start off right away, which in the beginning, until your energy's flowing, till you have this kind of relationship with it, it may not. So if you just tap it a little bit and then start doing it, then you can hear it. And if it starts to like get too vibrated, you'll start to hear it go. And that just means that you're going too fast because it's vibrating so much, it's starting to ricochet so much, it's hard to keep the you know, this wooden thing on the side. So you just slow down a little bit, you can hear it sing. That's where the singing comes from. You can do that as much as you want. And it's up to your personal taste and your personal preference on how the energies are impacting you. For me, this does it for me. It just permeates. And this would be supposedly a root chakra, being the size that it is, because it's 12 inches. But it just like, it takes me, maybe it just, you know, connects to the roots to the earth and allows me to fly off into space or something, but it definitely brings in a beautiful, beautiful tone and energy as well. And as I mentioned in the previous episodes, the Tibetans knew for centuries that our bodies are energetic bodies, and when we experience lower vibrational things related to fear and, you know, and all the emotions that are rooted in fear, anger, resentment, whatever it may be, sadness, depression, it impacts our energetic body, and that's why we feel so low. So they discovered this and were intuited that this vibration helps fill those pockets and transform that energy into something different. So, these are like brass, but this is one of my few ones that's glass, and it's a green one, even though it's supposedly, by the size, it wouldn't be I don't think it's a heart chakra. I brought my ruler to like measure these, and so this is like 7.5 to 8 inches, which technically would be the third eye, or the throat chakra. And again, you can hear the difference in the tone with a mallet. I never tried this one here. Okay, that sounds the same. And experiment, you know, it's always cool. And so, again, here's this one that came specifically for this one. You can hear the tone. And you can also find, like online, on YouTube, especially since we're on YouTube, different balancing chakra sounds and different singing. There's a lot of videos out there with singing bowls too. So if you want to get used to it and hear which ones resonate more, you know, there's a lot of resources out there for that as well. And then as you saw in that picture, I've got a ton of others. And sometimes, like in this case, they'll even on the bottom, they'll tell you, like this one says C sharp 3. And you can hear the difference. Beautiful sounds. And I'll just do each of them really quick here. And this is D3. Yeah, I'll be doing meditations in the future, and so maybe I'll have one with the singing bowls in there. Whoever maybe is just thinking, hey, Brother Zen, you should do that. I just heard you. Oh, and sorry, that was F3. And this is B3. And you can see that even though it's the same size bowl, it's thicker and it has a different tone. So that's why the thickness of the bowls can also bring a different note. And this one is E3. And it can be like essential oils. We might need something different for ourselves every day too, right? And this is A3. And like any drug or food, it all impacts us differently, right? Sorry, I bumped into things. And then this one is G3. Beautiful. And then the last one is a little small one, which is a C sharp 4. And again, because this one is thicker than some of these other ones, even though it's a smaller bowl, it has a deeper tone. And supposedly it starts like the deeper lower is the root, you know, attaching us to earth, and then the higher frequency takes us to a higher frequency. So all of that makes sense. So I love this as a tool, and you can bring it into your meditations. And like I said, if you can't afford one, because they can get expensive, Or you can, find a local store. A lot of times, if you have a metaphysical store, they'll have those, or a Tibetan store. In the larger cities, they'll have a lot of those, and you can go and at least try them out. Go in person, just experiment and see which tools help us on our journey. Like I was saying, with food, with drugs, with everything else in our world, like medications, not really so much drugs, but medication, how everything impacts us all individually and different. And so even though there are some tendencies saying normally this impacts a lot of people the same way, just know we're all odd. We're a bit all odd, which you probably can agree with that. Or you're in denial, I'm just saying. But we can use this energy of all the different tools, whatever works for us. Use that. And if something doesn't, leave it aside for someone else. But with an open mind and an open heart, let whatever comes our way, whatever comes across our path, pursue it, look into it, experience it. And maybe it's a one-time experience, and maybe it's something you bring into your daily meditation, your daily life, your daily experiences of life. So hopefully that was helpful. We'll be looking at more and more tools as we move forward here. And if you have any questions on anything we've talked about in this video, just ask it down below. If you have any ideas of any tools you use or anything that you would like me to talk about in the future, pop them down below as well. If you don't feel comfortable putting it out there in the world, I understand that. You can also email me at bruttazen@gmail.com, and I will answer you there. So everyone, as you're going through this amazing vibrational experience, this adventure, this journey, know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator, and you are actually a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being who is made of unconditional love energy. And of course, know that I love you too. So until I see you again, much love to you. You hang in there, and you take care.